Hello? Can everyone hear me? Hi, Marcelo. Can you hear me? I think I'm
Hello?
very behind.
Can everyone hear me? Hi, Marcelo.
Okay, one second. Let me put in headphones because I'm getting feedback.
I think Hello?
Nevin! Hi, Nevin.
Okay, one second. Let me put in headphones because I'm getting feedback.
Spiros Lazos, welcome. Hi. So I'm experiencing lag because I don't really know how to change my settings. I am clearly an expert and clearly an engineer. Let's try changing this. Marcelo, you want to become an engineer? Okay, do it. Yes, I am Canadian. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining. This is so crazy. I didn't think that so many people would want to hang out with me. Not that, I'm boring. I don't think I'm boring, but yes, Spiros, I want to know what your good question is. Am I saying that right? Also, I would like to just point out that I am sorry I am so late on replying to everyone's messages because I am in the middle of my master's thesis and I am literally dying. Due next Friday, have not started writing anything. Why? Well, because my professor hates me. No, he doesn't hate me, but he wants the figures to be perfect, and they're not perfect. So that's the story of my life. So right now, this is my hour-and-a-half break with you guys, and then I have to go back to hating my life. I'm kidding, engineering is great. It's midnight. Where are you? Argya Deep. Is that how you say your name? Where do you live? Around the global. Hey, I don't know. Did you ask me a question? I don't remember. I'm really bad with usernames. If you guys told me your real name, then I would know, I think. I would remember you. But do you guys have any questions? What are your questions? 10 a.m. in California. It's probably so much warmer in California than here. But around the global, now I want to know where I know you from. Where do I know you from? From India. Quite tough to spell. But am I saying it right? Argyadeep? Is that how you say it? From Instagram. You see, this is the problem around the global. If you have an Instagram name and it's not the same as your YouTube name, then how, am I? You know what I mean? It's quite difficult for me. You guys make this difficult. This is so fun. Oh my goodness. Guys, there's 9 people hanging out with me. Imagine if we were all in a room together. That would be crazy. Okay, I'm really happy I said your name right. So we have someone from California that's at 10 a.m. and then we have someone in India that is in midnight. So That's pretty crazy. Mela, hello. Welcome. Okay, Spiros. You are a third-year undergraduate mechanical engineer. I remember the days. Next year, you'll be in your last year and you have to choose a final thesis subject. Your master's degree is going to be in aerospace engineering. So what is the question? Okay, so precisely propulsion systems. Marcelo, thank you for congratulating me, but I have not finished anything. I don't deserve any congratulations yet. So Spiros, you said it is in propulsion system. But Spiros, what is the question? Around the global, what do you think about business startup? That needs to be a more specific question. Business and startup have a lot of, that's a very vague statement. So what type of business startup? Maybe if you pitch me the idea, I can tell you if I think it's good or not. So I need 2 clarifications here. Do you have any suggestions for a subject? Well, how does it work in your university, Spiros? Is it not that you find a professor and then they have projects available, or do you have to bring your project to the professor? Or are you just having trouble trying to figure out different cool branches within propulsion? That is my follow-up question to you. This lag is really killing me. Building information modeling. Is that like building technology? Like the heat transfer and HVAC systems? Or is that something different? Deep. I mean, I am from Canada and I live in Zurich. Mela, what is my favorite engineering project? What do you mean, like favorite engineering project in the world or favorite one that I've done? I want to say that my favorite project is the one I'm currently doing, except I'm in the middle of my thesis and I hate it right now. But I really like it. What I'm doing right now is thermoacoustic coupling, and it's fun, and I like it, and I get to model, so I get to, yeah, it's different than my thesis project, which was in experimental combustion. Spiros, you're asking me, can I suggest a subject? Can I suggest a subject for propulsion systems? Okay, so I'll just start spewing subjects. I mean, the problem is that a project or a thesis is something that is so specific. Like, for example, my bachelor's thesis was measuring the burning velocity of aluminum powder as the temperature of the premixed mixture increases. So it's something very, very specific. So in the propulsion system, you can do something in fluid dynamics, something experimental, or you can do something that is numerical modeling of fluid dynamics in pipes, because what a lot of people say is that rocket science is just plumbing. So yeah, you can do something in fluid dynamics modeling or experimental, or you can do heat transfer, or you can do combustion, or but a specific thesis project, no, I can't tell you, because that entirely depends on what school you're going to go to and what the lab research is. So for example, I could go up to the turbulence, or I can go up to the combustion lab that I'm currently in as a fresh student, master student, and say, I think it would be really cool to do this, professor. Like, I think it would be really cool to measure the burning velocity of flames, because he's in the combustion lab. And he would say, that's nice, but we only do thermoacoustics here, and I actually need someone to do numerical modeling. So really, I would say, like, you do research on what school you want to go to and what the labs do research in. So if you want to go to McGill, look up the combustion or propulsion fluid dynamics lab, look at the type of work they do. For example, I know the McGill fluid dynamics lab does detonations. So, and then look at the titles of the papers from that professor and see what sort of work they do in that lab. So that is my suggestion, Spiros. Okay. Around the global, startup in sector of design, modeling, fabrication. Ooh. So do I think a business startup around design, modeling, and fabrication would be good? I can't, no problem, Spiros. I feel like I can't answer this question because it's still too broad. Like, what does the design, modeling, fabrication startup do? And also, I took a lot of entrepreneurship classes, actually, and there's a lot of research you need to do before you go into a startup. Like, you need to research your consumer. Like, are you business to business or are you business to consumer? You have to do a lot of research and have a cash flow or profit projection, revenue projection or whatever. Hey, Ghost Angel. And so I don't know. I think it's just too broad. I can't answer the question. But I mean, yeah, of course, we always need more modeling and fabrication. But what is the business side of it? Like, are you selling to other businesses? Do you have enough money to start it? Is it just you in your room? Yeah, I don't know. It's too broad of a question. Try to be more specific. Okay. Do you think there are many options for mechanical engineers in Canada? Absolutely. There are... Marcelo, are you Canadian? Are you looking for a job in Canada? There are many options for mechanical engineers. If you're a bachelor student, I even have friends that graduated with a bachelor's and they don't actually work as mechanical engineers. You know, they work as another type of, I don't know, job, but they have an engineering background. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of options for sure. Do I study in Canada? I mean, I don't. I study in Zurich. I study in Switzerland. I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering and now I'm doing my master's in Canada. Spiros, no problem. Argedeep. Actually, I'm from mechanical graduate, passed out. Mechanical passed out. Whoa. You guys are writing a lot. Okay, one second. Mechanical graduate passed out this year, and for at least 3 to 4 months, I am in AEC form where I do design and modeling of HVAC and mechanical piping for high-rise buildings. Okay, so you are deep. You are in HVAC systems. Let me see your previous question. Hey, do I have any idea about building information technology? Mechanical graduate passed out a year. Okay, so you do design and modeling of HVAC and mechanical piping, high-rise buildings. Cool. I mean, I took an HVAC course and I do modeling right now. So you kind of combine the two things that I do. Niryaj, I like your videos. Thank you. That's so nice. Around the global. Okay, sorry I couldn't be more clear about your startup idea. Astrosimus, does mechanical engineering require a lot of writing? If so, I should probably change majors. LOL. No! It requires no writing because I am literally the worst person at writing. I know I have a perfect Canadian accent, but so I originally, my first language is Russian, Ruski, and I grew up in Canada and I went to a francophone jardin, which is a garderie, which is daycare, And then I went to a French elementary school, and then I went to a totally French elementary school, and then French high school. So I like to say that I learned my English off the streets, you know? So my vocabulary is so bad. It's so bad. And I hate writing. I don't like organizing my thoughts into comprehensible words. So do not worry, Astrosimus. Barely any writing except for those like humanities classes that you're forced to take. So I had to write an essay in one class that was world environmental problems, and they failed. They told me that like I pretty much failed the midterm because my writing was so bad. But what actually helped me to write this essay was that the TA was like, next time try writing your essay at the beginning of the exam. And I was like, that's insane. Are you insane? I can't write an essay at the beginning because usually I do all the multiple choice and then do the essay at the end. But it actually worked. I finished the essays, both essays, in 1 hour, and then did the multiple choice in 30 minutes. And then I was able to completely finish the exam in an hour and a half instead of 3 hours. And when I left, I was like, all these people don't know how to write essays. What up? You guys suck. Should have gone into engineering. I'm just kidding. If you write essays, I appreciate you. Yes, Ghost Angel. I try to notice everyone that writes on this chat. Unless someone is being mean, then I don't want to talk to them. Juan Orozco. Do you think it's a good idea to study dual engineering program? Is it a good idea? I think that depends. For me, no way. Like, I don't think I can do a dual engineering program because I need a balance in my life. So there's this idea that once you graduate engineering, your life begins. And I guess that's sort of true for your bachelor's, but what I noticed in my master's is that now projecting, oh, I'm going to do my master's for 2 years and then my PhD for another 4 years. There's no way that I'm going to put off my life until I'm 30. You know what I mean? So for me, it's all about the journey. I try to enjoy what I'm doing now and get my degree and just live my life every day. You know what I mean? So what do you mean dual engineering program? Is that like engineering and business? Because that makes sense. If you want to do something like mechanical and chemical engineering, no. It's better to figure out what you like instead of, it's kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should be a doctor or an engineer. I'll just do both. No, like figure out what you want to do. Make a pros and cons list and then figure out what you want to do. I don't particularly think it's a good idea unless you really want both programs, or unless it's like engineering and business or something like that. Marcelo, you're not Canadian, but you study in a Canadian school. Which school do you study in? I want to know. Spiros, another one. Did you take the GRE test to get into ETH? If yes, which preparation method did you use? My GRE life, guys, is I am the worst person to ask about the GREs. So like I just said, my English is like quite bad. I always want to swear, but with like the new YouTube, I don't know, guidelines, I don't know if they're just gonna like flag my video and be like, delete this channel because she swore. My English is crap. I did take the GREs. I pretty much failed them, and ETH still accepted me. I also applied to Caltech and Stanford. I was actually talking to the professor at Stanford, and he was like, yes, I want you, come work for me. Everything is perfect in your application. Just send your GRE scores and you should be able to start. And I was like, okay. And then I sent my GRE scores and he was like, yeah, you can't get in. And I was like, okay. But I mean, that's life. It's all just the same path, right? I mean, it's all the same destination, but a different path, right? So, I wasn't too upset. I knew that I was going to figure out a different way to get to my final destination. Did I prepare for the GREs? Yeah, I did, but I was also doing my bachelor's thesis at the same time, so I couldn't really prepare that much. What my friends did was learned 500 words, and that helped them. I learned 0 words and almost failed. So no matter how much they say it's not a vocabulary test, it is a vocabulary test. Josephine Desmet, thank you! I don't know if I just yelled really loud, sorry. Thank you! I'm really excited about 1,000 K2. I had no idea I was gonna have so many friends. But now that means you all have to come to my funeral when I die, because it's like Facebook friends, right? I have almost 1,000 Facebook friends, so now I'm gonna have 2,000 people at my funeral. Maybe we could rent out the Vatican or something. Royal, LOL at the writing question. Yeah, bad at writing. I mean, your message was retracted. I've only marked a few words as bad, like 3, so just make sure you don't use any of those words. Josephine, how's everyone doing? Yeah, how is everyone doing? That's what I want to know. Spiros, you're Greek Canadian, so you're half Greek and half Canadian, but you still haven't told me. Oh no, that's someone else. Greek Canadian. That's cool. So do you live in Greece or do you live in Canada? Astrosamus, yes. You hate writing too. Yeah, I'm I can literally tell you I am the worst. Can I tell you this story? One time we went to a pub quiz. Do you guys know what a pub quiz is, or like trivia night at a bar? And one of the questions was, blah, 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 whatever. I don't remember the question, but the answer was the Vatican. And I was the scribe, like I was writing down the answers. And the way I spelled Vatican, here, let me just type it. I spelled Vatican. Like, I did not spell it properly at all. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, I'm really bad at writing. Deep. Which software do you use for modeling and design of HVAC systems? So I don't model HVAC systems. What I do is I model combustion systems, and I don't use a software. I use a numerical solver. So what that means, it's just like code that a company came up with. They're not really a company, they're a private research firm in France, and they write the numerical solver of the Navier-Stokes equations in a way that like you access it on terminal or like in a cluster of like computer, like of CPUs. Our cluster is located under Lake Lucerne for cooling. So they load their numerical solver onto the cluster, and then we can submit, like we can use their numerical solver to solve our problems with a mesh and whatever, and submit that to the cluster. So, but the modeling, like numerical solver that we use is called AVBP. Around the global, you are planning to do a master's in industrial engineering. Can you please share your knowledge on this topic? So industrial engineering and mechanical engineering are actually in the same like group at ETH. So it's like Department of Mechanical and Industrial Engineering. And from my knowledge of industrial engineering is that industrial engineering overlaps with a lot of different types of engineering, because it's really the processes behind the engineering, what's it called? The engineering data. So say like a company wants to reproduce something that I'm doing in my lab, then the industrial engineer will figure out how to make that work on a large scale and how to, what's it called? Like turn it into a process for a company. Yeah. So that is what I know about industrial engineering, but I am going to Uganda next week, and I will be interviewing my friend who's an industrial engineer. So when I come back, you will see that interview. Shuaib. Okay, I'm really sorry guys if I'm butchering your names. I'm trying. So Shuaib. You're pursuing your bachelor's in mechanical engineering, but dreaming to do a master's in aeronautical engineering. Is Canada a better destination than Germany? Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I know Germany has their own space and defense, just like Canada has the Canadian Space Agency. I would say first look into what kind, like you can't just go into aeronautical engineering. You have, for a master's, you're going to be doing some form of research. So are you going to do controls? Are you going to do electronics? Are you going to do fluids or heat transfer or combustion or materials or FEM or structures? Like, which of these many branches of aeronautical engineering do you want to do? And then look at the different universities in both Germany and Canada. And when you find out, like, and look at the different labs, like, look at a university in Berlin or in Munich and be like, oh, yeah, this is the research that they do in this lab, and this is actually in structures, which is what I really like in aeronautical engineering, so I'll apply there. You know what I mean? So the main thing is to match up your interest with what the, what's it called? Match up, sorry. You know when you start talking and then you forget what you were saying? Anyway, match up your interest with what is being researched at that lab. At any lab that you're looking at. Yeah, anyway. I mean, how much can a mechanical engineer earn in 1 year in Canada? I'm just interested. Not that much, because if you make more than 100,000 K, the government takes half. So maximum, like, so you have to make more than 100,000 K to make more than 50,000 K. You see what I'm saying? But that's the highest tax bracket. But I would say that you make anywhere from 60,000 Canadian dollars to 100,000 Canadian dollars. I do not know if 60,000 Canadian dollars puts you into the highest tax bracket, but I know $100,000 does. And once you reach $100,000, half of that gets taken away. So really, you're making around $60,000. Sam Wazam TV, love that. Currently majoring in IT field, but planning on switching majors and transferring for aerospace, aeronautical engineering. So I know how to program and also write pretty well. Oh, well, good for you, Sam Wazam TV. I can't write for shit. I'm kidding. That's awesome. I'm glad that you figured out what you like, and also having programming skills is useful in any industry. Also, I'm sorry for being mean. Hunkar, did you have publications before you applied to Masters at ETH Zurich? No, I had a paper under review. So I submitted a paper with my old lab at McGill, and it was under review when I applied to ETH. And then after I applied, it got rejected. But the main thing is that I had it under review. But that does not mean that you need a paper under review. That what I really suggest is doing research. Because ETH is so strong in research, I would really, really suggest that you do research and have your professors write you really good letters of recommendation. Marcelo, Canadian international student in UAE, Abu Dhabi. Ah, so you study in Abu Dhabi. That's really cool. All my friends from Abu Dhabi at McGill also always told me how much they hated the cold. And they all wore Canada Goose jackets in September. And it was only 20 degrees in September, and then it got to negative 40 in the winter. Yeah. Sam was MTV. I will also try and pursue my master's in AE right after in propulsion and aeronautics if I like it. That's good. If you like it, go for it. Where are you planning on doing your master's? That is my question to you. Marcelo, how about you? You're asking me where I studied in Canada at McGill. If you're asking me where I'm studying now, it's at ETH Zurich. Vatican. That's my own message that I read. Okay. Royal. I feel your pain when it comes to the writing thing. After learning in Russian and French for a few years, my English started to lag a bit. I like English is my first or Russian is my first language, and I can't even imagine learning in Russian though. Yeah, I don't know. Around the global. Wow, that's good news for me. Yes, it is good news for you. Okay, Hussein. Are you my real teacher? I am not a real teacher. Sorry to break that to you. Martin. Should I do a certificate in project management? I'm going to university in about a year to study mechanical, but I thinking of doing a certificate in project management in the meantime. Should I? Do you guys see how bad I am at writing? This is what I'm saying that I can't read. Or wait, what did I just say? No, I meant, do you see how bad I am at talking? Or wait, no, do you see how bad I am at reading? That's how bad I am. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. That's why my English is so bad. Yes, okay. So should you do a certificate in project management? Going to university in about a year to study mechanical engineering. I think that if you have a year to study mechanical engineering before you start, if you're not going to do, like, for sure, it's better than just staying at home or working. I would say get a job and save up money and do this on the side, or go travel and try to do this on the side, or do half and half, travel for 6 months and then do the certificate for 6 months and work. You know what I mean? But I always say that getting some sort of education or traveling or some sort of experience is better than just staying at home. Royal education in Germany is almost free. Yeah, that's true. It is. Astrosimus. You joined a Women in STEM Facebook group. Which one? I'm part of like 7. Schweib. Oh, I pronounced the name perfectly. Yes. Flor R. As a chemical engineering student, do I need a master's degree to work in Canada? No, you do not. You do not need a master's degree to work in Canada. I cannot guarantee you that you will have a very chemical engineering-y degree or job, but all of my friends that got chemical engineer jobs work as real chemical all of my friends that got chemical engineering degrees and bachelors have real big girl chemical engineering jobs. So you do not need a master's in Canada. So I should just go back. Why am I even doing my master's? Okay. Anavin. I have applied for chemical engineering, but I'm a bit worried about my choice because I've been hearing that chemical engineers are unemployed lately. Is that true? I don't think so. All of my friends that got chemical engineering degrees have jobs, but that's in Canada. So Anavin, is that how you say your name? Anavin? Where do you live? Because in Canada, I don't know, all of my friends found jobs. But also, as long as you stand out more than the norm, then I think that's the most important thing. I mean, will you be back in Canada after your master's? No. So I finished my master's in 1 week. Then I go to Uganda for 2. And then I start a job for 1 year in Switzerland. And then I start my PhD for 4 years. So I'm going to be like 30 when I finish my PhD. And then I'll probably go back to Canada. It sounds so depressing when you say it like that. I really hate to have things planned so far in advance, you know what I mean? I like to be spontaneous. It's just really difficult here because, if I don't have a plan, they kick you out of the country. Like, you need a visa. Sam was MTV. Embry-Riddle and Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach, Florida. Sweet! Florida is where Harry Potter World is. So Sam was MTV. I'll be coming to visit you just to see Harry Potter World. Okay, I'm just gonna pour some tea into my mug. Okay. Do you plan on doing a PhD? I'm finishing my master's in Mech Eng in Canada, but not sure if it's worth continuing on to a PhD. I am the Serb. Are you Serbian? I am the Serb. I am planning on doing my PhD. You're finishing your master's. So what professors have told me in Canada is that they've all said don't do a PhD unless you want to go into academia in Canada. The reason I'm doing a PhD is because I might want to stay here and work, and when I stay here, I really want to work in combustion. And because it's a specialized field, they only take specialists, so they pretty much only take people with PhDs. So that's why I'm doing my PhD. But for you, like, is your field very specialized? Or do you want to do something very specialized, or do you just want to be like a general engineer that does like problem solving or quality, or you know what I mean? For example, I know that even if I go back to Canada, I can get a job as a combustion engineer because they take PhDs for those positions. For example, I know at Siemens, my friend was working there and he said that everyone in the combustion group had a PhD, except for one person, and she only had a master's, but she wasn't really doing any of the researchy stuff. So if you really want to be in the nitty-gritty, like math, physics part of the engineering solution, then I would say do a PhD. If you don't want part of that, and if you want to be part of like, I don't know, project management, problem solving, CADing sort of role, then I would say you don't need to worry about the PhD. What do you think? I am Serb. Standard D. I am doing my PhD at ETH. Yes. Curdy Gorgeous wrote, can I do my master's in petroleum engineering if I have bachelor's in mechanical engineering? Absolutely. That absolutely crosses over. And it sounds really fun, so I think you should do it. Spiros, TU Delft or KTH for aerospace masters? Ooh, I don't know. My friend actually goes to KTH, and she came to ETH because she thought it was a better school. But I know that Delft is also a good school. Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. I would say pick the school where your research, the research that you're going to do at that school, most aligns with where you want to end up in a job. Because if the lab, like say you want to do, I always use combustion as an example because it's my field, but say for example you want to go into combustion or into thermoacoustics in combustion, and the TU Delft has a better program for that than KTH, then it wouldn't make sense to pick KTH because there's not a very strong combustion group there. You know what I mean? So figure out what you want to specialize in and then pick your university based on that so that you have connections when you graduate. Also, decide on where you want to live. Do you want to live in Sweden or do you want to live in the Netherlands? Delft is a very beautiful location. I think if I would pick, I would probably pick Delft. With one you suggested with Sarah in one of your videos, Astrosimus. What? With one you suggested with Sarah. Oh, I joined the Women in STEM Facebook. Ah, okay. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm in that group too. And Sarah actually runs that group. So I'll talk to you there. Anavin, you applied to University of Calgary. Ah, okay, so you're in Canada. Your name is Nirvana. Ah. Oh, it's Nirvana, and your name is reversed. Okay, got it. So you applied to University of Calgary, and your question was, chemical engineers are unemployed lately. No, I would say that honestly, it's the same in any profession. The only profession right now that has more graduates than jobs is computer science. Every other profession, like whether engineering, science, or arts, has more graduates than jobs available. So, but that doesn't mean that there are no jobs. There are definitely jobs, and as long as you stand out past the rest, that doesn't mean have good grades, because I know tons of people that have amazing grades and they are literally the worst people to work with and they are actually dumb. And I'm like, how did you get good grades? You are so dumb. Having good grades is not what you need to do. You need to either do research or get an internship or like and really make connections with professors, like network, blah, blah, blah. Like most jobs are not posted online. Every single job that I applied to via an application, the application goes in and then straight into the trash. Like there's no doubt in my mind that when you send an online application, it goes straight into the trash. It's really about who you know. Most jobs aren't posted. So there are jobs available. Don't listen to those people. Standardy. You should join LIMES, Ladies in Mechanical Engineering at ETH. You know what? I should. Actually, I'm friends with one of the girls there. And she told me I should too. We were planning on figuring out how to do like lab tours and to visit my lab. But yeah, you're right, I should. I actually messaged them once asking them to share one of my videos and they said no. They were like, no, this isn't professional enough. And I was like, okay, I'm just trying to help the world. Bum, bum, bum. Whoa, I'm already lost. Sarthak. Hey, who are the people who get the excellent scholarships, something like this, which covers everything for masters at ETH? Are those guys with tons of other grad published papers or no, they're not. The people that gets the excellent scholarships, I think you just need to outline a potential thesis project. And once you, like if you outline a thesis project, and like they think it's a really good project, then they give you the scholarship. ETH literally has so much money. It's not like in Canada where 1 out of 5 million people get the scholarship. Like I think a lot, like I know at least two of my friends got this scholarship because they just outlined a potential project, which they didn't even do, but they just thought of, like they just want to see that you put in the extra effort and thought. I actually should have done it. I probably would have gotten it. But no, definitely apply for the Excellence Scholarship. Anna Vin, how much do chemical engineers in Canada make per year? What is like 4,600 times 12? Does someone want to do that? Okay, 4,600 times 12. I think, so that's, Google says it is 55,200. So I think that is starting salary, 55,000. But it goes up, like, the more you work. Spiros, good luck with your job. Thank you! I do need it. I hope everyone likes me there. And if they don't, I'll be like, okay, well, you're not as cool as my YouTube friends. RJ, would you agree that Trudeau is the best looking dude in global politics? 100%. JT is my favorite out of all of the JTs. Yeah, he is. And he's also, did you actually know this about Justin Trudeau? That he did not want to go into politics because his brother died in a ski accident in BC. So he grew up in Montreal. His brother died skiing in British Columbia. And he was out there as a primary school teacher or a secondary school teacher. And then many years later, he decided to run for office. So I like that Trudeau is very, what is it called when you're not meek, but he's like not down to earth, but not like he like really understands the world. You know what I mean? Like he's experienced loss. Yeah. Schreib. What were your grades like when you applied for masters? So I actually made a video about this. I called it, oh my goodness, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so behind in all of these questions, but I'm going to answer all of them. What were your grades like when you applied for a master's? So I made a video about this, and it's called How to Get into ETH. I should have put it in a card. Maybe I'll put it in the card after this. But my grades were 3.83 out of 4. Sorry. Yeah, they were high, but they weren't perfect. But I think what really helped me was my research. I think the research is the #1 thing that you need to do. Make connections with professors, do really good research, get your professors to write you a really good letter of recommendation. Grades are not everything. Remember, I did crap at the GREs. Remember that? Yeah. Marcel, you're going to be rich when you finish your PhD. Let's hope so, because right now I have enough money to last until I start my job, but that is only if I don't like eat too much food. You know what I mean? But to be fair, I'm also going to Uganda. I decided to do that instead of try to live in Switzerland for the next 2 weeks. Adi! Hi again. What programming languages are valued for us in Mech Eng in general? What modeling softwares too? MATLAB. I would say you have to know how to use MATLAB very well. Actually, no, that's not true. I have friends in mechanical engineering that don't know how to program at all, and other friends that use MATLAB a little. I use MATLAB a lot in my master's, but I would say MATLAB is like the #1 thing. Other softwares are like ANSYS. That is an FEM software. There's also Fluent, which is a type of fluid dynamics software. I know those ones. Mastercam is a CNC machine programming software. So I know all of these. SolidWorks or any other type of CAD program, those are pretty good. Curdy Gorgeous, thanks for the answer. Another question. Can I do an MBA in finance if I have a bachelor's of engineering? Of course you can. Yeah, of course you can. MBA is pretty much open for everyone. I don't really know what the admissions requirements are. I think you have to take the GMAT or something like that. Or is that for medicine? I don't remember. But you have to take some sort of standardized test. But no, HunDP, you can go from MBA or bachelor's in Eng to MBA in finance. I mean, what is a PCD? No, a PhD. So that's a PH and then .D. So that is a doctorate, like a doctor's degree in philosophy. That's what PhD stands for. So I'm going to be doing my PhD in engineering. So that means a doctor's of philosophy in engineering. Life Explorist. Do you think that electrical engineering is a great field for renewable energy? Yeah, I mean, renewable energy, all of these types of energy power sources, they produce electricity. So anywhere where there's electricity, you're going to need electrical engineers. And renewable energy is on the rise and will always be on the rise. So I think that more companies are going to be moving more towards renewable energy, so you can't go wrong with that. Martin Daniel, must I do a concentration in propulsion in my undergrad if I want to do a master's in propulsion, or could I do a master's in propulsion irrespective of my undergraduate concentration? Absolutely. You do not need to concentrate in propulsion in a undergrad in order to concentrate in propulsion in a master's. You can just get a generic bachelor's of engineering and then go into a master's program of engineering and then work in the propulsion lab. Or you can get a generic bachelor's of mechanical engineering and then go into an aerospace master's. These all cross over. I mean, PhD, yes, PhD. Astrosimus, how does studying in Switzerland work for someone who does not live in the EU? It is a lot of visa applications, which sucks. The main difference is that, the main shock that I had is that I should probably make a video about all of the differences between studying in Canada and PhD. Let me know in the comments if you guys would like to know that, because there's a lot of differences. But the biggest difference that I found is that in Canada, so North America, we have our semester exams like once in December for the fall semester, and then once in April for the spring semester. And then for, what's it called? In Switzerland, our exams for the fall semester are end of January, beginning of February. So you can't go home for Christmas and enjoy it. You have to study. And then this is even worse. The exam session for the spring semester is in mid-August. mid-August. So you have 2.5 months to study for your exams instead of enjoying the summer. Worst thing on the planet. Anavin, what does a specialization in an engineering discipline mean? For example, if I'm doing mechanical engineering with specialization in biomedical engineering. So what it means is that, so chemical engineering is something that is very, very broad. And actually, you can watch my video with Kelly. I interviewed her, and she does a good job explaining this. But for example, I'll use mechanical engineering. Mechanical engineering, you can do controls, or you can do like robotics, or you can do heat transfer, or you can do fluid dynamics, or you can do any one of these things. So in chemical engineering, you can do the same thing. There are a lot of different streams, and so biomedical engineering is a subset of that. But I do not believe that biomedical engineering is a subset of chemical engineering, although I think it can be. For example, I know biomed is actually a subset of mechanical engineering. For example, in mechanical engineering, we build a lot of mechanical parts, and in surgeries, or in when people need prostheses to walk, or braces for their back, those are designed by the mechanical engineer or the chemical engineer, but mainly by the mechanical engineer. So like prosthetic legs, that would be designed by the mechanical engineer. And so the biomedical field is a fusion between medicine and mechanical engineering, because you don't just want me, a combustion/mechanical engineer, to build a prosthetic leg for someone, because I don't know anything about body tissue, or about like how heavy the leg should be, or the types of signals, like when your brain sends signals to move the leg or whatever. But someone that is going into biomedical engineering from chemical engineering will be doing sort of they'll be learning about the tissue and applying their mechanical engineering degree to the biomedical field. So your next question, can you be a biomedical engineer if you're already a chemical engineer? As long as there's part of chemical engineering that can be applied to medicine, then yes, you can do biomedical engineering from chemical engineering. But I think the main overlap with chemical and medicine is the pharmaceutical, it's drugs. So it would be like making Advil or stuff like that. In mechanical, biomedical engineering is more of the the prosthetics or different instruments for doing surgeries. You can even have software engineers that are biomedical engineers, because they write softwares that program different machines, like a CAT scanner or whatever. You know what I mean? Okay, Spiros. Oh my goodness, guys, there are so many questions. Okay, I'm gonna get through all of these. I'm really sorry it's going so slow. Masters in the UK in aerospace. What do you think about that? Overpriced or too low quality? Do you ever consider the choice for yourself going to the UK for work in Rolls-Royce? So my friend actually went to Imperial College of London for aerospace, and he had a lot of trouble getting a job after that. He has a job in Australia now, but he doesn't really like it. There's Rolls-Royce everywhere. You don't specifically have to go to the UK. I personally did not study there because it's overpriced. And because the UK, I think, no offense if anyone's from the UK, but I think it's gross. You guys don't recycle, number one, and the weather is always crappy and it's flat. Where am I supposed to go kayaking? So overpriced, not a very nice climate. You can go anywhere and get the same degree. Adi, I'm so happy there are this many people in my live stream too. It's like 30 people right now. Can you believe that? I am the Serb. Have you ever heard of an industrial PhD? I hear they were pretty common in Europe. Would be pretty good to get work experience and a PhD at the same time. Yeah. I actually applied to one, but then at the last minute I decided to go to ETH, but there's still talk between making my job that I'm getting for the next year. Sorry, I just burped. There's still talk between ETH and the job that I have in the next year to try to make it into like a joint joint PhD program. So maybe if the company I start working for really likes me and I'm like, sorry, I have to go do my PhD, then they will try to figure something out with my professor to try to make it a joint one. That is actually what I would like to do the most too, because how awesome would it be if you graduate with a PhD, but you're technically already working for a company. You get paid better anyway working for a company. Yeah, I'm totally down with that. Industrial PhD all the way. John Su, when do you hear back about ETH for master's admission? I really did not remember. I remember I was going skiing and I got the email in the car and then I started crying. I'm sorry. Anavin, or Nirvana, sorry. Can I get a biomedical engineering master's degree if I have a mechanical bachelor's degree? Yes, that is absolutely true. You can get biomedical masters from a mechanical bachelor's. There are programs, though, that are strictly biomedical engineering bachelors, so you should also look into that. Niraj, have you ever visited India? I have not, but Indian food is some of my favorite food ever, so I would really love to visit. But I can't go to India because my friend from Sri Lanka told me I have to come to Sri Lanka, so I have to go to Sri Lanka first, and then I can go to India. Bodybuilding lover. Will finding your project decide whether you're going to do a master's or all your grades during the 5 years? So I'm interpreting this question as, will your final year project decide where you get accepted? And my answer is, like, guys, there's no, like, box, this is what people look at, this is what people look at, this is what people look at. It's all a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of your grades, it's a little bit of your project or your thesis, it's a little bit of your letters of recommendation, it's a little bit of your GREs, it's a little bit of your letter of intent, a little bit of have you contacted the professors before, a little bit of do you have any connections, and a little bit of do you stand out to the person looking over the applications? You know what I mean? It's a little bit of chance, but it is both. Francisco Marquez, great videos, Jessica. Thanks for sharing such valuable advice. Aw, thank you. Bodybuilding lover, can mechanical engineering work in oil? Yes, they can. And do they do the same as petroleum engineering work in oil? I'm assuming because a petroleum engineer is a more specialized version of mechanical engineering, you do a little bit more of the actual petroleum engineer work. But that doesn't mean that someone with a mechanical degree can't do the same job as a mechanical engineering degree. Just depends on where you apply and what sort of person or qualifications they're looking for. But if you're looking to switch from mechanical to petroleum, or apply to a petroleum engineering job as a mechanical engineer, or do a petroleum master's from a mechanical engineering bachelor's, I think those are all great options. Joseph, Mariam, can architecture study engineering at the same time, or is it difficult? I would say it's a little difficult. I wouldn't want to do both. I would say pick one that you think you want to do and start, and then if you don't like it, switch. It's better than starting both, hating everything, and then dropping out of both. Abdul, hey, thanks for the amazing content. I was wondering what's the best engineering discipline for renewable energy, and is chemical engineering a good option? Yes, chemical engineering is a great option for renewable energy. So chemical and renewable energy would be more like batteries or like hydrogen fuel cells or stuff like that. Mechanical engineering with renewable energy would be more like wind turbines or hydropower plants or stuff like that. You can even go into software engineering and model like all of these things need programmers, but also mechanical engineering. So for example, like the wind turbine, you need to model the best angle to place a wind turbine in a field. And so those you use numerical models, which is a stream of mechanical engineering. So Chemical engineering is a good option for batteries and hydrogen fuel cells. Mechanical engineering is good for like wind turbines and modeling fluid dynamics of the wind, or modeling hydropower or building hydropower plants. What other form of renewable energy? Nuclear engineering is a stream. It's like you can go from chemical or mechanical into nuclear engineering, so that's also an option. Marcelo, what's the best engineering course for someone that likes physics? You mean out of mechanical, chemical, and civil? Or what do you mean out of that? Oh, back to Abdul. Civil engineering would be good also for hydropower plants because it's just made of concrete and civil engineers just love concrete. So Marcelo, you said, what's the best engineering course for someone that likes physics? So you mean an actual course or a stream? For me, I really like physics and I really like statistical mechanics or quantum physics. So I really like taking advanced thermodynamics, which is all about entropy. I would really suggest that course. Curdy, is this a joke? Two atoms were walking across a road when one of them said, I think I lost an electron. Really? Theodore replied. Are you sure? Yes, I'm absolutely positive. Okay, Curdy, I can't laugh at that. We've all heard this joke before, but I appreciate your effort. Thank you for being a shining light in our discussion. Spiros, in my uni, biomedical engineering is offered as a minor for those that major in mechanical engineering. Yeah, that's what actually in my university also, it's a concentration. I am the SERB. What kind of combustion research do you do? I am also the combustion field doing numerical simulations of soot formation. Interesting. I do numerical simulations of sequential flames, so two flames inside a burner or inside a gas turbine. And I model the thermoacoustics, so that means when the heat release couples with the chamber acoustics and causes a feedback loop, and the whole chamber starts vibrating. So it's kind of like vibes, thermodynamics, and heat transfer, and mechanics all together. And I use numerical methods to predict it. Nita, what do you think about aerospace engineering? Nita, that is a very broad question. I think it's cool. My dream would be to go to space. I don't necessarily have to be like an engineer. Just if Julie Payette wants to take me to space, I'll go with her. Luis, is it difficult to make a master's in control systems? Greetings from Mexico. Oh, hello, I've been to Mexico a few times. I'm assuming, but that is just because I am really bad at controls. I do not like it. I have always never liked it. I like thermodynamics more, so I think a master's in control systems would be difficult. But maybe you like controls and you think thermodynamics is difficult and you wouldn't like to do a master's in thermodynamics. So I think it's just personal preference. JDHS Daniel, do you know how is mechanical engineering in Latin America in question of specialties? I do not know what it is like. I'm very sorry. But I know that Canada and Chile have a dual partnership where like a visa requirement. So a Chilean worker can come to Canada and a Canadian engineer can go to Chile very easily. Hassan Mishu, prefer me. Cool. I prefer me too. I am the SERB. Congratulations on the job. When did you start applying before your graduation date? I started applying in October because my visa expires in September, and so I started to pre-plan a year in advance. I was really, really afraid of getting kicked out of the country. So I started applying in October, November. But in the end, I got this job through connections in my lab. Honestly, most jobs aren't even posted, guys. You really just need connections. Mitchell McCauley. Have you heard any negative things in the EU about U of T in Canada? What are the opinions? Are you saying U of T? You wrote UOIT. University of Ontario? I don't know what school this is. I'm assuming you meant to write U of T, like University of Toronto. Have I heard anything negative in the EU about U of T in Canada? No. Most people are like, I've heard of U of T. Is it a good school? And I'm like, yeah, all Canadian schools are the same. But no, I think it's like a lot of universities are really good. No one really has anything bad to say. Neurotransmission Jessica checking in to say, hey, and you rock. Also, what inspired you to create your channel? Thank you. You rock too. What inspired me to create my channel? Honestly, I was on YouTube and I was like, you know what? It would be really cool to find like a girl vlogger, engineer, blah, blah, blah. And I started to look and I couldn't find anyone. So I was like, well, that's kind of like crappy. The only thing I could find was engineering truth or something like that. And yeah, I don't know. I was like, I should make one if no one else is gonna make one. I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna have to do this because I can't find one. Nivana, I'm actually from Bangladesh, not Canada, but I'm probably going to University of Calgary this year. Your views are helpful. Keep them coming. Oh, I'm so glad. And that is amazing. Have fun at Calgary. I will not be in Calgary ever probably because it's super far from where I live. But if you're ever in Niagara Falls, let me know and I'll tell you where to go. Hassan Mishu. Hey, I am from poor country, so I have to always think about how much I earn. My dream is to build my own car from multinational car company. Build my own car company, okay. But I don't want to narrow my job sectors, so which sub you will? Okay, I need you to clarify that question, Hassan. Curdy Gorgeous. Have you heard that entropy isn't what it used to be? Is this a joke, Curdy Gorgeous? Is this supposed to be a joke? Are you gonna say something like, oh, it's always evolving or something? Okay, Hassan, you wrote something else. Hey, okay, my dream is to build my own car from multinational car company, but I don't want to narrow my job sector. So which sub you will prefer me to choose for my, which subject should you choose for your bachelors of science? I can't make that decision for you. I can't make that decision, but I think if for you, what's like, I don't know, like, is it more important for you to make money or do you really want to build a car company? I think figure out what you really want, what your priorities are. If you want to build a company, also take some entrepreneurship classes. Maybe you want to do a business degree or maybe you want to go into mechanical engineering. But weigh your options. Think about what is more important to you, starting your own company or making some money. Or maybe first you want to make some money and then go and start your own company. So maybe first you want to get a mechanical engineering degree, learn about cars, get a job, and then in a few years after that, start your own car company. Nivana. Is chemical engineering a good option if I want to work in pharmaceutical industry? Absolutely, it is a very good option if you want to work in the pharmaceutical industry. I'm just boiling more water because my tea is cold. JDHS Daniel. Greetings from a fan of your channel, mechanical engineering student from Guatemala. Thank you. That's so fun. Look how many people we have all around the world. Daniel, Martin Daniel. Rocket scientists must first study combustion? No, it depends. What part of the rocket are you building? Are you building, are you doing the combustion part? Are you building the material part of the rocket? Material is also very important. Are you doing the plumbing, like the fluid dynamics? A lot of people say that rocket science is just a fancy word for experienced plumber. So it really depends on what part of rocket science you want to go into. Marcelo, thanks for all the answers that you gave us. No problem. Mitchell. University of Ontario Institute of Technology. I do not know that school. Why don't I know that school? University Ontario Institute of Technology. Let's see. Okay, my internet. There we go. It's in Oshawa. Why don't I know that university? But your question, if I scroll back, was... Okay, I don't remember. Have you heard any negative things about EU about... No, honestly, I actually think that nobody knows that university because I actually didn't even know about that university. So that is my answer to that. Sorry, I couldn't give you anything more positive. Bodybuilding lover, what do you do on your first day of university to make friends? You know all of those stupid, like, programs that they make you do? For example, like on my first day at McGill, they made us do something called Discover McGill, and they made us like partner up with random people. Yeah, like go to all of those stupid events. What also helped me was I did engineering frosh. Like I did the frosh in the engineering department, and those, like all of the people in the engineering department are the people that I ended up spending all of my time with. So it's good to get to know. Sorry, I'm burping again. It's good to get to know people in your department from the very beginning. So I would say maybe do like some sort of engineering frosh. Also, what really helped is moving into a residence. If you move into a residence, then you're going to be with tons of other people that don't have any friends. So, yeah, going into a residence would really, I would say, really help. Hi, I am an engineering student from UK. J. Gamare, or Gamar. Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. I insulted the UK earlier. UK is great. I'm sorry about what I said. And welcome. I hope you don't hate me after that. Standard. What happens when electrons lose... Wait, okay, I'm reading the wrong thing. Okay. Curdy Gorgeous, you're confusing me. Which company will you be working for after your MSc? It's called Ansaldo Energia. It's a gas turbine company. They're like GE, but they're a little smaller, just in Europe, not across the whole world. Curdy Gorgeous. I just read the punchline without reading the joke, but I already know it's gonna be good. What happens when electrons lose their energy? They get bored. Very nice. Hassan Mishu. Thanks. I'm planning to do my bachelor's of science in mechanical engineering from China. What do you think about it? I want to complete my dream and also make a good figure of money. I've never studied in China, but if you have the opportunity to go to another country, I think that's great. I think it will be difficult unless they teach in a language that you are familiar with, but it is definitely possible. And yeah, I love Chinese food. I love dim sum and all of that stuff. So I would definitely suggest going to another country to study. Bodybuilding lover. Can mechanical engineering work in construction? I have two sisters, one is civil and the other is architect. Can we form a company together? Absolutely. You absolutely can. It's actually better that you have a larger scope of people. The more diverse of the people, the better it is for everyone. You're all going to have different angles and you're all going to have different things to add. So I would 100% say that that is a great idea, bodybuilding lover. And maybe if my company job doesn't work out, then you can hire me because of all of the great advice that I've given you. Okay. Guys, I finally caught up to the questions. I mean, what are best countries in all over the world for engineers to make career and money? I'm from Italy, but I'm Moroccan. I have not been to Morocco, but my roommate was from Morocco, and I love their food. And you must speak French, but you're from Italy, but Moroccan. Okay, got it. Um, Honestly, it just depends on, there's no one country that's the best to study. Um, it depends on where you want to live. It depends on what kind of job you want, what kind of company you want. If there's a specific company you want to work for, then I would say look where its headquarters are and try to like figure out how to get into that company. But where is there a best country in the world to study engineering? No, there is not. Um, JDHS Daniel. It was difficult for you to choose an area. Okay, was it difficult for you to choose an area of mechanical engineering for which to specialize? So at first I thought I was going to go into environment because I am very much an environmentalist. But then when I started blowing stuff up, I was like, this is dope, so I'm just going to stay. So honestly, the way I just stay open and the good opportunities find me. Like as long as you're not too narrow-minded and you open yourself to the opportunities, the good opportunities will come along and then you just pick the best one in your path. So that's what I would suggest that you do. Don't worry about what you specialize in or whatever. Like really, think about or like try to stay open with everything. Nivana, I missed the part when you said about whether I can work in pharmaceuticals with chemical engineering degree. Yes, that's a go. You can. That is like the way to get into pharmaceuticals, actually. I mean, your videos are amazing and super useful. Keep going. Aw, thanks, guys. I'm so happy. Because sometimes I make one and I'm like, oh, this isn't that great of a video, but I really would rather post it than not post anything at all. Do you guys like that? Like, even when I don't have time and I post like a video that's just like a short vlog update on my life, I'm sorry, just engineering is hard sometimes. Martin Daniel. If I study engineering, would I have time for other activities such as sports and music in my uni life? Yes. So the trick with engineering is what you need to do is you need to plan. Like I say this so many times and a lot of people watching this live stream already know what I'm going to say, but say you have a project to do and it's due in 2 months and it's only going to take you 3 weeks to do the project. Give yourself a deadline and only give yourself 3 weeks to do it. If you're going to drag out the project for 6 weeks to 2 months, when are you going to have time for sports and music or whatever? Like, plan your weeks out. Be like, okay, these and this days I'm going to dedicate to work and I'm going to dedicate to the project. And then on this, like for 1 hour, I'm going to go play basketball at the gym or something like that. So the main thing is to be disciplined. Like discipline yourself to have your own time and to have work time. But on the work time, actually do the work or else you're just going to get behind and then you're not going to have time for anything. Mitchell, I'm going into automotive engineering and there is an engineering and management 1-year add-on option. Do you think it would be beneficial? I think it would be beneficial if you want to go into management. Do you want to go into, don't just do it if it's not what you want. Only do it if you want to be in some sort of management role in the automotive industry. If you don't want to be in a managerial role, and if you actually want to do like the engineering work in the automotive industry, then don't add it on. Like, don't waste your time. Don't have FOMO. Like, don't just do it because it's there. Do it if that's what you want. Life Explorers. What do you think is the future of electrical engineering? Is it promising, and what subfields are worth pursuing? Plus, does it make a good amount of money in the long run? Electrical engineering is like a really good engineering. On average, I think electrical engineering is paid the most out of all the other engineerings, I think. Yes, of course, there is a future for electrical engineering because we're always going to be using electricity, like, forever. So there is a future. It's not going anywhere. What are the subfields worth pursuing? That I do not know. But I will be interviewing an electrical engineer. Yeah, I will be interviewing an electrical engineer, and I will ask them about the subfields. And then when I upload that video, you will see. Curdy Gorgeous. What is the name of the first electricity detective? Sherlock Holmes. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Jay Gamar says to Nivana, current chemical engineering student at GSK offered me a summer placement. You will definitely get in pharma with chem eng degree. Yeah, that's what I said. So pretty much what Jay is saying is that I'm right. So thank you. Curdy Gorgeous. Why did the sun not go to college? Because it already had 1,000,000 degrees. I'm actually going to write that down. Because that's funny. Next time, I'm going to figure out how to record this little chat button so that it goes, like, when people play this back, they can see everyone's chat. Sun, college, not, because 1,000,000 degrees. Thank you, Curdy Gorgeous. Floor R. Are there any jobs that require a PhD aside from the investigation field? Any sort of academia, any sort of like high government, space and defense degree, any job pretty much that is working on specialized business to business things. Like, for example, the European Space Agency, all of those people there are PhDs, even though they're not doing any of the they're not doing any of the product development. The people that are making the products for the space agency are other companies, and those companies at the very, very top, the people doing the math and the physics, have PhDs. So those are people with PhDs, academics, people in space and defense, yeah, those types of companies. So guys, I can't believe that's been an hour and a half. I had a lot of fun. Should really be writing your lab report? Yeah, I should really be writing my master's thesis. So we are in the same game. Niraj, well, I know your schedule's tight. Do you ever get time to watch series or any movie? If yes, then what are your favorite recently? So I'm actually trying to read more books than watch TV, but like when I'm doing so much work, sometimes when you take a break, reading a book is just, it's way too much brain power. So what I've been doing is like I watch TV when I eat, just so that like my brain can melt a little before I have to go back and start using it again. And my favorite TV shows, oh, I literally have so many. How to Get Away with Murder is one of my favorites. Scandal, one of my favorites. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Modern Family, Broad City, love Broad City. Oh, Jane the Virgin, I really like that one. And I think that's it. I think that's it for now. What is the next one? If H2O is the formula for water, what is the formula for ice? H2 cubed. Curdy Gorgeous, I don't know if you're just like want these to be here forever or if you're trying to actually make me laugh, because I feel like they're funny, but like so dumb that they're funny. You know what I mean? Bodybuilding lover, you should stream PUBG or Fortnite. Is that another streaming software? What is that? Tell me what that is. Spiros, thank you, keep going. Thank you. Jay Gamar, do you have any good book recommendations for thermodynamics? Actually, what really helped me understand the You mean the second law, like entropy, or you mean thermodynamics in general? Because in general, I just use the textbook that the prof recommended. But if you're talking about entropy, then I would recommend getting Einstein for Dummies or just reading Einstein. Actually, I can just send you the images, like I have it, so I can just send you screenshots of this one chapter. It's the one chapter on entropy, and they explain it really well because it's for dummies. Now, how was Fluids 1? Fluids 1 was the worst. Fluids 2 was better. Fluids 2 was about compressible flows and shock waves, and that was way more interesting than Fluids 1. So yeah, why? Are you in Fluids 1 right now? Do you not like it? So, guys, we are approaching the end. I tried to answer, I think I answered everyone's question, and I had a lot of fun. I can't believe how many people showed up to this live stream. Current viewers, 23. At one point, at multiple points, there were 30. Martin, please interview an aerospace engineer or an engineer that works in designing aircraft. Okay, will do. I will write that down. Bodybuilder lover. PUBG is the most popular video game. I mean, streaming like Twitch, you know? You look like a gamer. Okay, bodybuilding lover. I feel like you're reading my mind. I'm actually not a gamer at all. My little sister is. I'm not a gamer at all, like at all. But recently, I've been thinking I really want to get into video games. But the reason I don't ever go is because I don't have time. Like, I don't have time, and I feel like I'm not, like, I should be learning German, or I should be learning Swedish, or I should be practicing piano, or I should be reading a book. You know what I mean? So I feel like I can't justify using my time to play a video game. But recently, I was like, I really want to play a video game. So, PUBG, we'll see. Maybe I go on Twitch. If you're there, we can be friends. I mean, was I good at math? Yes, I was good at math. I was. Bye, JDHS Daniel. Ghost Angel, don't leave. I'm sorry. I have to eventually. I have to do my master's thesis. Schweib, goodbye. Good luck. Thank you. Daniela, you showed up too late. It's okay. The whole recording is going to be there. Curdy Gorgeous. My dog used to chase people on a bike a lot. It got so bad, finally, I had to take his bike away. That was actually funny. Ghost Angel. Wah, Jay Gamare. Shameless plug. Oh, LOL. Ghost Angel Gaming is wonderful. Mucha suerte. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Kyle. Okay. No problem for all the advice. No problem. Thanks so much, guys, for paying attention. I can't take any more questions. I really have to go work on my master's thesis. Thank you so, so much for coming in, for talking. Miriam, it's okay. There is the recording, so you can watch it all back. Next time I'll figure out how to record the live chat so that when there's the playback, everyone can see it. Thanks so much, so much. Let me just say quickly that next week is my last video week, where I'm going to be able to answer questions or whatever. And then for 2 weeks, I'm going to be in Uganda, so I won't have any internet access, like, at all. So when you write your questions on my YouTube, I will not answer any of them, and that's not because I don't want to, that's because I'm in Uganda. But when I come back, I'll answer all of them. But I have already uploaded videos for those 2 weeks, so there will still be videos. Ghost Angel, thank you for existing. Oh, thank you, Miriam, so much. That's so nice to hear. Remember to take it easy in life and don't feel like you have to do something always. Yeah, that's right. Maybe I should start streaming and doing PUBG. Okay, bye, guys. Thank you so much.